Hey there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with my thoughts on the Oscar nominations for the 2025 year and 2026 celebration. I'm pretty indifferent to these. Of my personal top 10 favorite films of the year, only 2 of them got nominations. Granted, one of them was for Best Picture, so that's kind of cool, but largely movies that I absolutely adored were kind of shut out, and I'll touch on that when we get to each separate section. Yeah, generally speaking though, a little lackluster. That said, Sinners is the huge breakout. Sinners went 16 nominations, surpassing All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land for the most nominations in any given single year for a single movie. They each had 14 nominations. This one has 16, so it kind of blew them out of the water in an impressive way that I don't think anybody truly saw coming. But let's go down the list. We're going to start with Best Picture. The nominees are Bugonia, which I just watched today and is kind of buns. F1, Frankenstein, which is the only nomination that any of my personal top 10s got. Hamnet, which I hear is fantastic, and I'm really excited to track that one down. Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, which you can watch my review right here. I was a little lackluster on that one. The Secret Agent, which I hear is a lovely film. Sentimental Value, which I really want to see. Sinners, which is a fantastic movie. You can also check out my review right here. And Train Dreams, which is available on Netflix. Noticeable movies that didn't get nominated. I thought Avatar might get nominated again just because the other 2 were. I was a little shocked Wicked didn't get nominated. I didn't think it was going to take many nominations. In fact, it got straight goose egg 0. But I did think that it would at least pull a Best Picture, because I do think it was really good, and even though it's not as good as the previous one, doesn't mean it's bad, and it certainly doesn't warrant the shutout it received. The movie that I think deserved a place on that list and is disappointing it didn't get is The Life of Chuck. Directing went to Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, which seems to be the favorite movie going into the Best Picture season. I think One Battle, this is that year for them. Joachim for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. My heart goes to Ryan Coogler. I would really like if Ryan Coogler won. He's made a few films in the past that I think are worthy of recognition for the Best Director. This is his first time getting nominated, and this is his most ambitious film, so I would be in full support of that. That said, I do think Paul Thomas Anderson is going to get it. However, Josh Safdie has an opportunity to pull a surprise victory, and Joachim, whose previous film was a phenomenal movie, and I hear Sentimental Value is every bit as good. I wouldn't be surprised to see them be like a surprise dark horse. In the Best Actor in a Leading Role category, we have Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, who I think is the lock and is likely going to win. The honorary nominations for everybody else are Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. He's a good actor, and it would be nice to see him get some recognition at some point. Michael B. Jordan, who I think would be the only other person on this list that might take that for his dual role in Sinners, and Wagner Moura, who also could take the victory for The Secret Agent. Best Actress in a Leading Role goes to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. We have Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, let's see, Renee Reinsve, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's a phenomenal actress, for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Bugonia. Being my personal choice here would be Renee Reinsve, having not seen many of these movies, just because I thought she honestly kind of deserved it for The Worst Person in the World. It's nice to see her get a nomination here. That said, I do think this is Jessie, Buckley, or Rose Byrne's year. Emma Stone, having just watched Bugonia, she is very good in it. However, she isn't the performance that I would have nominated from that film. That would have been Jesse Plemons in the lead acting category. Best Supporting Actor, or Best Actor in a Supporting Role, we have Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. That dude kills it. He is phenomenal in that movie, which I'm not a huge fan of. He slays, man. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. I think he has a good shot of maybe pulling a surprise victory if it doesn't go to the person at the very bottom of this list here. Delroy Lindo for Sinners. This a nomination surprised me, however, it's a long time coming. This man deserved to win in 2020 for Da Five Bloods. I sort of see this as an honorary, like, sorry we didn't tag you then, we're tagging you now. But he is good in Sinners. He was phenomenal in Da Five Bloods. You can check out my review up here. Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. He, I think, gave the best performance, or the showiest performance in One Battle. So I understand this nomination. But Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value seems to have it on lock if any of these performers do. Actress in a supporting role, we have Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value in her first nomination, which I think is fantastic. She's a great actress. Inga Ibsdottir Lillians for Sentimental Value. I butchered that, but she has a cool name. Amy Madigan for Weapons. I get it. Honestly, I'm glad that horror had such a presence at this year's Oscars between her performance and all the recognition both Sinners and Frankenstein are getting. I don't see it happening, but maybe. I honestly would be a little frustrated if this performance won and say like Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise wasn't nominated, or any number of great horror performances from the past. But she did come out the gate swinging with this performance in Weapons, so way to go, Amy Madigan. Then we have Wunmi Masaku for Sinners, and Teyana Taylor for One Battle After Another, who probably is the closest to a lock on this one. Noticeably missing are both actresses from Wicked, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. I expected them to get nominations as we were getting further and further away from the release of Wicked and further into Oscar season. It became apparent that that might not necessarily happen. I did think Ariana would still pull through, just because her performance of the two was different. In the first one, she was fun, aloof, and goofy, and here she gave a much more grounded, honest, and traditionally dramatic performance, and I thought that would sway the voters, but she got locked out, and I'm depressed forever. I do think that the best performance for a given by a female in the 2020s is Ariana Grande in Wicked and Wicked for Good. So I'm devastated forever. That said, you take it, Teyana Taylor, you were good. Best Original Screenplay, we have Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty, Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think this is where Sinners pulls the victory, and probably one of its only major victories of the night. It could pull Best Picture, and that would be awesome. But I think Sinners' screenplay has it mostly on lock, is what I would say. Best Adapted Screenplay, we have Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, or Train Dreams. I imagine One Battle After Another and Hamnet duke it out. That said, noticeably absent is Rian Johnson's amazing screenplay for Wake Up Dead Man. Not to mention Josh O'Connor's best performance by an actor. That one hurts. Rian Johnson was nominated for the previous two, and I feel like this is a direct reflection of the fact that this one didn't get a full cinematic release, as the other two did, even though the other one only got it in a single week for Glass Onion. It was still in a wide enough release that people got to see it. I just don't think it got the recognition this time around, and that's a shame. Most people liked it better than Glass Onion. This screenplay is far more thoughtful than I think some of the other two were in several key ways. So I'm very disappointed in that. Also noticeably absent is Life of Chuck. Mike Flanagan's screenplay for that was great. New category here, casting. We have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I think Sinners probably could pull that one, or maybe a Marty Supreme, One Battle maybe, but I think this is a great category. I'm not entirely in love with the nominees, but it's impressive nonetheless. Casting for Life of Chuck, just throwing that out there. Best Animated Feature Film. This is the only other one that had one of my top 10 favorite films of last year. We have Arco, which I hear is an honorary kind of like Studio Ghibli film out of France. Elio, which I'm glad got recognition. People seem to buzz past that one when it came out in its theatrical window, and I hope this allows them to catch up with it because it's a really, really good movie. Then we have K-pop Demon Hunters, another one in my top 10. Little Amelie and the Character of Rain. Never heard of this one. Tremendous title. Can't wait to see it. Same thing with Arco for that matter. And then Zootopia 2. I was a little surprised that got the nomination, but it's been taking the box office by storm, so I guess I shouldn't be entirely surprised. Best International Feature Film, we have The Secret Agent. It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sirat, and The Voice of Hind Rajab. Noticeably missing is No Other Choice, which I think a lot of people saw having a lock for this category, and I audibly gasped when I saw that wasn't there. That said, I think it's really a three-way battle between Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, and Sentimental Value, but being that Sentimental Value got the Best Picture nomination as well as Secret Agent, I think that even bumps out It Was Just an Accident, though I hear all three films are fantastic. I'm looking for... International film is always my favorite category, that and the documentaries each year, to watch all the nominations, because you genuinely do get movies that don't miss. And so I'm really looking forward to watching these. Best documentary feature film, we have The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody against Putin, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. My wife watched The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix, and she said it's absolutely riveting and heartbreaking, and so I can't wait to rip my heart right out. But I genuinely look forward to these categories. I think of all the nominees, that one probably has the closest to a lock, having not seen the movies. That's the one I've heard most about throughout the entirety of the year. Documentary short film, All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Children No More, We Were and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly Estrangeness. All of these have unusual titles. I look forward to watching these as well. Best Animated Short Film, Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. The Pearl one has a really great title. Live action short film, we have Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. I like that last one. That one has a great title. I haven't seen any of the shorts. That's something I do try to catch every year, so hopefully I get them available for you in a nice review package. Alright, moving on to Best Original Song. Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless, in her yearly must get a nomination. She's just like at 19 or something like that now. Absolutely insane. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. Listen, I know there's some other good songs on here, but if that doesn't win, I will light this place on fire. I even have the candle going. I Lied to You from Sinners. That's also a good one. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde, and Train Dreams from, you guessed it, Train Dreams. Best Original Score, Bugonia. I'm gonna pause. I just watched Bugonia today, and it has a lot of score. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a good one, or one that even fits the film that it's in. That needed a quiet, more intimate kind of score, something subtly seductive and moving, and what it didn't need was the big brass, and as if that score is a fine score, not befitting the film it's in. So I literally paused the movie at a certain point, turned to my wife and said, boy, what is with this score? This better not be nominated. Checked notes, was nominated, and I was like, the fuck. Alright, Best Original Score, we have Bugonia. Frankenstein, which does have a pretty great score. Hamnet, One Battle After Another. I don't really remember the score from that one too much, it didn't stick out. And Sinners, which had a great score. So in my mind, this is a battle between Frankenstein and Sinners. Having not heard Hamnet, I will go through and independently listen to all the entirety of these scores and let you know what I think. On the day of the Oscars, I usually put my predictions up. That's when you can expect the follow-up. Sound! We have F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat. I'm not surprised F1 got here, or Frankenstein, or One Battle, or Sinners. I don't know what Seurat is outside of it was nominated in the Best International Film category, so I'm really interested in checking this out. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World, Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. Noticeably absent, I think, is Superman, which had great visual effects. Or hell, I would even throw it to Fantastic Four. But Jurassic World, weren't people making fun of how the special effects aren't great? And I thought they looked good. Don't get me wrong, I thought it looked better than the previous 3 movies. But I thought people were kind of dogging on that. So I was genuinely shocked when that wasn't there. And I was even more shocked when they said The Lost Bus, which I didn't know was a film that had visual effects, which is good. That's what you want. You want the invisible visual effects. So that made me more excited to watch that movie. But I was surprised not to hear Superman in there. That said, this is going to go to Avatar, right? Film editing, F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, or Sinners. I imagine Marty Supreme probably is going to take that, or Sinners. One Battle had decent editing, but its pacing was just all over the place. So that would be my one fight against that one. My resistance, if you will. Costume design, where the fuck is Wicked? Avatar, Fire and Ash. Again, where the fuck is Wicked? Best costume design, half of those blue cats aren't even wearing costumes. We have Avatar, Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. I want Frankenstein to win this, maybe Sinners. Makeup and hairstyling, Frankenstein, Kokuho, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, or The Ugly Stepsister. I was happy to see The Ugly Stepsister on here. I've heard amazing things about this movie. Shout out to you, Barnaby. And I genuinely was surprised that this movie got recognized. Wasn't that a Shudder original film? Does Shudder have an Oscar nominee in their midst? Crazy. But I think this is a battle between Frankenstein and Sinners, though Smashing Machine, they effectively made The Rock look not like Rock. Also, I was a little surprised to see that he didn't take a nomination. I know that he had been kind of dipping in his cultural significance in that from that performance, but I thought he might still pull through. He's sort of the Pam Anderson of this year. Cinematography, we have Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, or Train Dreams. You know, One Battle is a great looking movie, as is Frankenstein, but if Sinners doesn't win this, I swear to God, I do. And then production design, we have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I haven't seen Marty Supreme, but it surprises me that it got nominated for production design. I personally would have thrown in here, for sure, Avatar. We got painted an entirely new world, portions of that world. I thought they did a great job with that, but what did you guys think of the Oscar nominees? Was there any noticeable ones that you were really hoping would get a nomination and didn't? I think my big two are Life of Chuck and Wake Up Dead Man. But I'd already kind of come to resign to the fact that Life of Chuck wasn't going to get anything, and Wake Up Dead Man would only get its screenplay nomination, and then it didn't even get that. So, anyway, what did you think of this round of nominees? Let me know what your favorite individual nominee is. Of all the movies that I've seen on here, my favorite one is probably Frankenstein or K-Pop Demon Hunters. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll get back to you in about a month and a half time with my predictions on who will definitively win the night. Thanks for watching. Peace.